one to the right of that or one to the left of that. Now, because we're ended up going along the edge, thanks to a bunch of rolls, because we ended up going along the edge, we only have two options. Endurance or fortune. So, my plan was, with those we could do, instead of doing the D3, which I've been using fudge die for those, what we would do is evens odds, which I've been using this D20 for. So what we're going to do is, I'll show you the dice, and I have to take this off to do it. Yep, there we go. So I'm using this D20 here. I'm going to roll it. If it comes up on an even number, we are going with endurance. If it comes up on an odd number, we're going with fortune. That's how we've been playing this. Here we go. Which, it's been interesting. Let's do it. Endurance. Okay, sure. We'll keep going along the edge. Because that's what the dice want, apparently. They are dead set on keeping us along the edge, so let's do it. Let's see what because each step on the origin path, as well as defining your character's background, in a vague enough way that you can add all sorts of interesting flair and so you seek to endure, and in enduring grow stronger. You welcome opposition, risk, setbacks, injury, and pain as old friends, for these trials are but stairways to which you will climb to greater heights. Endure, and you shall be made mighty in the God Emperor's eyes, and the power of the Imperium. The virtuous welcome the storm. The Imperial Creed teaches, for its furies guides humanity on a path to strength in body and soul. Just as the mighty tree sheds its weaker limbs before a tearing wind, and stands greater for it, so too humanity is made sturdy by the struggle and want. Others would put it more simply: the weak die and only the strong remain, and you choose to be the latter. I mean, it's a vibe. Okay, sure. So, it gives us +1 wound. So that means, which is, for those of you who don't know the game as well, let me bring this back up. For those of you who don't know the system that well, wounds are how you track damage. So any attack done against you does a certain number of damage, and then you take out any armor, unless it's something that specifically penetrates armor, and then you subtract your toughness bonus, which we're going to figure out as soon as we have our characteristics lined up. And then anything that's after that, you actually take as damage, usually D5s and D10s. That's what's called wounds. And if you go over your number of wounds, you start to suffer serious permanent damage, limb loss. If you get to like more than 5 past, it's death, no matter where you put it. But and where the shot happens for like the earlier stages of over your limit damage depend on consequences of inability to move, inability to use weapons, you're stunned for a number of rounds if you get hit in the head. There's a whole list of very nasty things depending on the type of weapon they're using and how far above and where they hit on the body and how far. But eventually, all of the tables for all types of weapons, all places on the body, and all types of weapons all lead to death once you get a certain number of wounds. So having extra is always a good thing. +1 wounds. Endurance. Okay, so now we get to pick our career path. So I'm gonna, let's see. Let me get the dice cam off. It's 10:30. It's simply okay. So the 2 career paths we're ending up as is either Archmilitant or Astropath Transcendent. So a little about each. Astropath Transcendent. Basically, certain members of the Imperium are born with psychic powers, and if you are immediately either killed off or sent to Terra for training. If not, you become a danger to yourself and others as your powers blossom untrained, and you can have demons enter real space through your head, and it is not pleasant or fun, and can lead to death for you and everyone around you. That's why there's such a huge crackdown on unregistered psychers. Sometimes it ends okay, and they learn to control their powers through other methods, and they call them like hedge sorcerers, kind of, and often fall to chaos. Not gonna lie, they're often on the side of pure evil because reasons, but sometimes, very occasionally, they end up okay. But because of that, there's such a strict crackdown by Imperial forces, so most are taken into the black ships and brought to Holy Terra to be trained, which is formerly known as Earth. 1,000 per day are killed off to power the Astronomicon, because the Golden Throne requires sacrifice to work, but it's the only thing keeping the Emperor alive, and that keeping the Astronomicon burning is the only thing that allows interstellar travel, which, so it's kind of seen as a necessary sacrifice, or the network connecting the planets would fall apart, and the planets themselves are, while a lot of them aren't self-sufficient and have large numbers of people, and even those that are vulnerable and don't have the military forces needed to deal with the many threats humanity faces. So, yeah, it's not a fun world. It's fascinating to learn about and cool to work with, but it wouldn't be someplace you want to live. So Astropath Transcendent is someone who's been trained under the auspices of for the Astropathic Choir. They learn their psychic powers, learn psychic disciplines, gain the knowledge and benefits to use their powers safely, and get soulbound to the Emperor, which gives them benefits on the tests needed every time you use the psychic power to avoid having really horrible things happen to you. And yeah, so yeah, soulbound to Emperor is a very, very good thing. And not to be soulbound is highly illegal and highly dangerous to everyone around you, because demons head real space, not fun. Archmilitant is basically ultimate soldier. You know your weapons. You are proficient with all weapons. You end up getting a bonus for your weapon. You get, you are a military expert. You know tactics. You know how to fight. You know hand-to-hand or at range with random. You know fighting. You know weapons. That's your thing. There's more to it. Basically, that's the Archmilitant's thing. The other ones are also really cool, and have different roles and powers, but we ended up with a choice between these two because of the way our origin path rolled. So we're going to focus on these two right now. What we're going to do is bop this down, bring up the dice cam, and we're going to roll it on this d20. Evens, odds. Let's do it. I'm going to put you over here for now. So evens, odds. Evens is Archmilitant. Odd is Astropath. Yeah, evens Archmilitant, odds Astropath, and then we'll see what this character is. Evens Archmilitant, odds Astropath. Evens Archmilitant, odds Astropath. Welcome back. We just rolled a 4 on the d20, which was evens odds, because we got down to the very bottom and still kept going right along the edge. So we said even Archmilitant, odds Astropath. Oh, really? Dang it. Why did no one tell me? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, hang on. Am I back now? Is it working now? Let me try this. Hang on. Let me... testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm back up. Okay, good. Alright, I did not even notice it went because I was focusing on tweaking the screen and the books and everything. Wow. Yeah, which is a shame, because I do want to run these streams. But yeah. So I ended up as an Archmilitant. Which means the career path, we ended up as a soldier, as an ultimate fighter, basically. You will let me know if it goes screwy again, right? If the connection or the audio or the visuals are out or anything like that, because I do tend to be kind of not always the most on top of that. I did notice that chat wasn't connecting properly, but I wrote it off, which I probably shouldn't have. I know, but I do want to, like, at least try to provide a cool streaming experience, you know what I mean? Oh, so we ended up with characters in Arch Militant. Excellent, good to hear. What was I gonna say? Oh, yes. Wunderbar. Okay, excellent. In which case, I'm gonna do one, let me find this chart. I'm going to do one last roll, which is on this chart, and I usually use a d12. There's no reason to use a d12, and I've been using a d20 for all the even odds, but I'm going to go with a d12, because roll as many different dice as possible. So we're going to go with this one here, and percentiles, which we rolled these ones last time. That would be these guys, these three here. We're going to roll. So we're going to roll for our gender and sexuality for this character, and then we're going to see what their deal is, and then go from there. I wrote this chart out myself, and I'm very proud of it, because I probably wouldn't make a single straight character if I didn't have this chart. Just kind of sad, but it's true. Which even before I came out, did very few straight characters, and I think that was one of those signs where, like, alright, but here we go. Ready? I'm going to roll d12, evens odds, and then we're going to, for sex, and then gender and sexuality, and there we go. Okay, 12, which is evens, that's female, and 8. Okay. Straight girl, let's do it. I'm down with this. We are going to take this away. I'm very much up for a straight girl. So, Arch Militant, straight woman. Well, straight woman. Given everything she's gone through. Definitely a woman. Alright. So she is a woman, straight, okay. I don't know if that'll come into play later or not, but it did for Janthine. Like, I made part of her backstory her hooking up with someone who was very bad for her, and he led her down a bad path, but she ditched his ass, so it was cool. What else? Sometimes the dice just have a mind of their own, and I'm all for it, actually. So what we're gonna do is figure out her name. They have a random table of names, so I think I'm gonna roll on the random name table, just because I've rolled randomly for everything else so far. She might as well have a random name too. She's got toxic blood, she's got scavenger, and I rolled a mutation. Let's roll a random name. And then we're gonna roll characteristics, and then I think this will be one of my longer streams. Why don't I go with probably low? I would guess. Yeah, I would say low name, just because given her station and it makes sense. Alright, so we're going to roll, it's on a D100, because of course it is. We're going to roll these two. $69. Nice. Okay, yeah. So, here. Like that. Yeah, they put the tens digit on the outside and the 0. That's how you can tell the difference between the 6 and the 9. Once you set it so that the 0 is facing inward, whichever way, that's which it is, so it's 69, and that would be Odette. Okay, Odette, let's go with it. Alright, I'm going to put her name down, and then we're going to get that out of here so you can see me. Hi. Okay. Odette. Then I'm going to roll stats for her, and then I'm going to apply all of the complicated stat bonuses, and then we're going to do, next stream, we're going to do, okay, so we're going to do, so, ballistics, weapon skill, agility, let me look at, so, there are different ways to roll stats. There are 9, there are 9 different stats. Weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness, so actually, we're going to strength, toughness, agility, intelligence, perception, willpower, perception, willpower, and then fellowship. So, with all of those, each is 2d10 plus 25. Basically. And they can be raised and lowered, they can be raised, at least, fairly easily by using experience points, so that's why it's not a thing. So there's different methods. One of the ones the book recommends is just rolling 2d10 in order and adding 25 to each as you go. So yeah, roll your stats in order. There's also allocating a point buy system, which is score of 25 and may allocate 100 additional points, no more than 20 to any one characteristic. So the highest score you get would 45, same as if you rolled the 2d10. But you get to have 100 points to allocate over the 9 skills, and you can allocate them as you see fit to change up, like, if you want to build or lower different scores. Slightly higher than average. When I ran a game for a couple friends of mine as jamming this game, what I did was I had them roll 2d10 9 times and add 25, so I did the 2d10 plus 25, had them roll up 9 scores, and then could allocate them to which characteristics they wanted to go to. So, for example, I had, they would have a 43 and a 38, and they could choose what, if they wanted a higher 48 weapons and a 38 weapons and a 43 in ballistics, or a 43 in ballistics and a 38 in weapons, depending on, whether they wanted to be melee or range based for the, combat. Just as an example, with 9 ones. For something rolling as randomly as this, I'm going to do the thing where, my plan, such as it is to move you guys over here. Probably 12 side ups, if not. Yeah, is to take 2d10. I'm going to take these 2d10 and use them to roll up stats in order, as per usual. As for the random assign method, we're going to do 2d10 plus 25 for each, once for each characteristic, and then add up all of the minuses and pluses we gained through the origin path, which are considerable, and then we're gonna have a full set of characteristics, and then probably the stream will end. So let's do that. So here we go. Ballistic skill. 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 25 is 32. So 32 ballistics so far. Mathematics skill. 4 plus... Well, that's 4 plus 7. Okay, so that's 31. That's 36. 36 for weapon skill. Yeah, 36 for weapon skill. Yeah, 36 for weapon skill. Anything above 40 is considered good, I generally find. Below 30 is just bleh, you know. My tongue no longer look. Alright. That's a 2, and that's a... Ooh. Yeah, that's 28 for strength, so that's... I think we have minuses to that, so that should be fun. Not a huge amount of physical. So for Arch Militant, meaning that they basically do... Hopefully agility's good. We'll see. Because if their agility's good, it's going to be a kind of dex-based fighter. We can also bump these up. Well, 4, 5, 6. That's 31 for agility. No, for toughness. Sorry, 31 for toughness. Not bad, and I think we get some bonuses to toughness, so we'll see how that plays out. 9 and 1, so that's 10. So that's 35 to agility. Intelligence, how smart. 2 plus 10 is 12. That's 37 in intelligence. Okay, and we got 10 plus 1, that's 11, so that's 36 in perception. Willpower. This is, no, actually we don't have psychic power, so it's not important. If you have psychic power, willpower is extremely important. It's 3 plus 10. Yeah, these dice are on fire. A lot of 10s. 3 plus 10 is 13, is 38. And fellowship. Let's see what we got. Is she likable? That is not very strong, pretty decent on the good side and everything else, but is she likable? 10 and 4 says yes. Survey says yes. Okay, so that's 39. Okay. Now we go through and allocate all of our things. So it's minus 5. Ooh, that's down to 23 strength. Plus 5 willpower, which bumps us up to 43. Okay. Speak, fate point, minus 10. Yes, minus 5 to all fellowship with non-void born NPCs. Trade basic and use space 0G. 4 fate. Okay, so we have 4 fate points. I should put this up here. Okay, so plus 3 willpower, which brings up to 46. Dang, we're good. Okay, plus 20 against minus 10 toughness. Okay, so it's minus 8 intelligence. So that brings us down to 29. Oof. Not dumb, but yeah. And minus 4 toughness. That brings 31. Ugh. Because when you bringing toughness down is bad, because once you get this, bringing down the toughness modifier, which brings down our number of wounds. So that's fun. Minus 4. So toughness 31 brings it down to 27. Lovely. Okay, and leap up talent plus 1 wound. Okay, so remember when I said the toughness bonus was not good? So basically the bonus is the tens digit. So a score of 32 will give you a bonus of plus 3, or 3 weapons. A score of 28 will give you a bonus of 2. Usually this is used in calculating. For example, agility bonus is how far you can go. It's used to how far you can go. Toughness bonus is how many wounds you have. Intelligence bonus is, you don't add it to anything usually. It's just used to calculate difficulties and things for various reasons, and one thing the toughness bonus is used for is to calculate number of wounds. So, 2 times so that's 4 as opposed to 6, because we got knocked down toughness. Yep. So it's 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 1 is 10. 10 is still pretty respectable. So wounds are 10. 10 is a fairly respectable number of wounds. And then normally you would go through and tweak any of the scores you wanted with your experience points. So I could probably get up to 12 wounds by sinking experience points into raising the toughness scores until you got 500 experience points, and then you've spent the 500 experience points, and then you officially count as rank 1, and you can begin play, and shenanigans can insert. But it's pushing on 11 o'clock here on the East Coast, which is where I am, and I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. So I say I'm going to end the stream here for tonight. Tomorrow, let me check one thing, because I don't want to stream. There are certain streams that I don't want to stream over. Yeah, there are certain. Alright, so it's 5:45 Central, which is 6:45 Eastern. So I'm going to start at tracking all this stuff. So what I do for character sheets for this is... Oh, right! That one! Yes, the Kobold game. I remember. Okay, then I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow, honestly. If the Kobold game... I was thinking of streaming after Lore Master Arcanum, but if the Kobold game, I don't want to miss that, and I don't want to stream over Terry, because... yeah, so I wouldn't want to stream over Machikidi, who is really cool, and by the way, anyone who's watching should go check him out. But yeah, so I probably won't stream on Monday. We'll figure out what time Thursday, depending on various factors. But for the character sheet, there are PDF versions available of exactly what goes where, and with spots for wounds and fate points and insanity and corruption points and all of that. I tend to... So what I'm creating, honestly, I'll show you, is this. This is the character sheet as I have it so far. So what we got is, we got the characteristics. This is the list of all of the stuff that goes on from the origin points. This is notes on that. Oh. Ooh, I can't wait. I might host it, actually. Yeah, so tomorrow night, after the Lore Master Cams, I'm going to host the Kobold one. I'm going to put it up on the channel so everyone can, I don't have many people who aren't also Blue Box who come to my channel, but anyone who do, if you're out there, you should all check it out. I'm going to host it. I'll post it on my channel. That'll be fun. But yeah, I've created this, and then I have the origin path written down, but basically I just scatterbrained taking notes. All the ones I do on the stream, like you can see, for example, Pyrrhix, a half-elf druid ranger. We got the stats and base fortitude, will saves, all the saves, and we got, I think that's spells there. Oh no, that's the skill list. But I keep all of the ones I do on stream. I'm working on typing them up, to be fair. But all the ones I do on stream, I do, pen and paper in this notebook. That's why I hold it up at the beginning of every stream. And it contains any number of characters, including Odette and others from the Warhammer 40k verse, and ones from Pathfinder. Yeah. So I think that's good for tonight, because it is 11:01, and all of us need sleep. So I will be hosting on this channel the Kobolds. I will. That's on Machikidi's channel, who's pretty cool. You should all check it out. And then I will be back Thursday. I'm gonna post. I've been working on getting my schedule. Yeah, I could. I probably should figure out how to do it, because I have the character, the book. Let me see. yeah, we have the book that I have as a PDF, so I could show up all the screens if I knew what I was doing. I kind of probably should figure out how to do it so that I can just show you guys the PDF of the rulebook I have, and then I could show you all the charts and stuff. Although the origin chart is printed the wrong way, so I would... It's meant to be in a physical book so that you can then spin the book and look at it that way, but if you can't spin your book because it's a PDF, it gets kind of annoying. And but yeah, I will consider that. It's me streaming is continuously a learning process of finding new ways to present stuff as I go. But yeah, no, that's an actual interesting point. Maybe I'll experiment with that on Thursday stream. We'll do character creation, and then we're going to do world building for the ship it's from, and kind of put together a crew. I'm thinking the same crew as Janthine, and we'll like work on a ship with that and go from there. All right, that's it for tonight. I will see you all on Thursday, or whenever you can next make the stream. No pressure. And have a lovely night. Thank you very much for dropping by. Let me just do this. Night.